In episode 140 of the Unrivaled Tang Sect, Huo Yuhao stormed into the Sun Moon Empire's military camp and triggered a level 9 soul-guided cannon barrage, unleashing a destructive storm that threw the entire encampment into chaos. In the same instant, the members of Shrek Academy stepped out from Huo Yuhao's undead demi-plane as if descending from the heavens, appearing directly inside the enemy's most unexpected and critical zone. The evil soul masters never imagined that, within such a tightly guarded camp, a group of powerful opponents could erupt right at the heart of their formation. Their line broke at once, and they were forced into a frantic, passive defense. Among the many evil soul masters, Tang Ya was one of the first to react. The moment she saw Elder Nangong Wan sent flying, she released her soul rings without hesitation. Colors alone were enough to make one's scalp go cold. Her martial soul was a mutated dark blue-silver grass. In a blink, strands of deep blue vines spread across the ground like living shadows, surging forward to support another elder against Shrek's powerhouse, Elder Song. But Elder Song's strength was far beyond anything Tang Ya had anticipated. Those tough, resilient vines could not even get close. Invisible wind blades shredded them into fragments before they could touch her. Tang Ya was about to unleash an even stronger soul skill when Bei Bei suddenly stepped in front of her. His eyes were filled with emotions too fierce to describe, excitement twisted together with grief so sharp it looked like it might tear him apart. The instant he appeared, Tang Ya's movements stalled, as if something deep inside her had been struck. And when Bei Bei finally saw the woman he had been longing for day and night, she stood there like a cold statue, eyes hollow, expression empty, moving like a corpse with its soul carved out. Pain stabbed through him like a blade. He forgot he was on a battlefield. His body trembled as he called her name, and tears poured down uncontrollably. Ever since Tang Ya had vanished and fallen into the hands of the Holy Spirit cult, Bei Bei had lived inside a prison of guilt and torment. The last time he saw her on the competition stage, he had been willing to die by her hand. Now, seeing her again, every wall inside him collapsed at once. Tang Ya stared at the tear-streaked Bei Bei. For a brief heartbeat she seemed blank, almost dazed. But the chill in her eyes quickly reformed, harder than before. Countless dark blue vines transformed into lethal spikes and shot toward him like a storm of spears. Bei Bei did not move. He stood there, motionless, as if rooted to the earth. Somewhere in his heart, he still refused to believe Tang Ya would truly harm him. That critical moment, Su Sancher charged in front of Bei Bei and raised his massive Xuanwu shield, blocking every strike. He shouted at Bei Bei, anxious, even furious, warning him that this was not the time to be ruled by emotion. Tang Ya was clearly under mind control. Priority was getting everyone out alive, not gambling their lives here. Su Sanchi's words hit Bei Bei like a bucket of ice water. He dragged a fraction of reason back from the abyss of grief, realized his mistake, and forced himself to reset. He returned to the fight at once. Bei Bei released his martial soul. The blue lightning tyrant dragon had evolved into the radiant holy dragon, and with the support of his soul spirit, the heavenly dragon horse, his aura surged. Yet even as he fought, his attacks carried a painful restraint, meant to subdue Tang Ya, carefully measured so he would not truly injure her. Tang Ya answered with the terrifying techniques of her dark blue-silver grass. A huge net, tough, sticky, and laced with venomous thorns, dropped toward Bei Bei. Then she condensed that weapon again, the blue-silver overlord spear, the very spear that had once pierced his body. Facing that familiar, deadly thrust, Bei Bei's heart churned with emotions too tangled to name. He waved off Su Sancher, who tried to step in again, and chose to trust his own judgment, trust that somewhere deep inside Tang Ya, memories of them still remained. Step by step, he walked toward her. He even dismissed all defense, withdrew his martial soul, and stood bare before her. Gently, again and again, he called her name, telling her that if she wanted to strike, he would not resist. Tang Ya's emotions visibly shook. Her voice turned sharp as she screamed at him to stop coming closer, her eyes filled with struggle. Bei Bei did not stop. He walked straight into the spear tip. The sharp point drove into his shoulder. Blood stained the weapon red. His face went pale, yet his gaze remained soft, and he kept repeating her name as if nothing else in the world mattered. That scene, so eerily familiar, seemed to slam into a hidden lock deep within Tang Ya's soul. She let out a scream of agony and suddenly released the spear. Power of the dark blue-silver grass rapidly receded. She clutched her head with both hands, shaking violently, crying out that it hurt, her head hurt. Bei Bei bit back the pain, rushed forward and pulled the trembling Tang Ya into his arms. In that moment, it felt as if he were holding the entire world. Years of longing and suffering seemed to find the smallest shred of comfort inside that embrace. The moment Su Sancher saw that Bei Bei had succeeded, he moved to cover them, guiding the team toward the prearranged extraction point, the tent of the masked Donghua. There, the door Huo Yuhao had opened to the undead demi-plane stood waiting, their lifeline out of the battlefield. The same time, with the Ice Bear King Shaozhe unleashing a blizzard domain across the camp, the overall battle situation was firmly controlled by Shrek's side. The members of the Tang Sect displayed their own strengths, coordinating seamlessly. Once the core mission, rescuing Tang Ya, was achieved, they began withdrawing immediately. But the plan did not proceed without danger. Inside the command tent, the Holy Spirit cult's leader Zhongli Wu finally sensed something was wrong. The messengers who should have been reporting non-stop had gone silent, and the outside was unnaturally quiet. He led multiple experts out of the tent, only to be intercepted head-on by Huo Yuhao, who was disguised as the masked Donghua and stationed outside. Huo Yuhao pretended to panic as he reported an enemy raid, while using his body and positioning to subtly block their path, trying to buy his companions even a single extra second to retreat. The instant Zhongli Wu realized something was off and prepared to rush to the battlefield, Shaozhe released the blizzard domain with full power. Snow and wind swallowed the world, temporarily blinding sight and dulling perception. Zhongli Wu roared and tore through the storm, only to be met by the full force of Shrek's top experts. Elder Song became a jade-green streak, fast as lightning, smashing straight into Zhongli Wu and knocking him back along with the Holy Spirit cult's enshrined evil soul masters. And Headmaster Yen Shaozhe held nothing back. He unleashed his ninth soul skill and transformed into a radiant light phoenix with wings spanning 100 meters. The phoenix's true body descended, and endless flames of pure light poured down from the sky. Those flames did more than drive away the blizzard. Their overwhelming, immaculate light crushed the evil soul masters with terrifying suppression. This carefully prepared combined strike bought the Tang Sect the most precious thing of all time. Everyone seized the chance and rushed into the undead gate hidden inside Huo Yuhao's tent. Huo Yuhao himself also played the part of someone killed in the phoenix flames. Still wearing the masked Donghua disguise, he saw Yen Shaozhe locked in battle with Zhongli Wu and immediately stepped forward, pretending to assist Zhongli Wu as he clashed with the headmaster. Then he was burned to death by the phoenix fire. In truth, it was a feigned death, an escape. The masked Dolua's scream vanished into the holy inferno. Zhongli Wu was heartbroken. In his eyes, every titled Donghua-level evil soul master was a priceless asset to the Holy Spirit cult. Under Elder Song's urging, Huo Yuhao and Shaozhe quickly entered the undead demi-plane and closed the gate. What worried him was this: Headmaster Yen Shaozhe did not enter with them. He stayed behind to cover the retreat. Yet Elder Song did not seem too anxious. She implied that as the head of Shrek's martial soul department and the future successor to the Sea God Pavilion, Yen Shaozhe had his own trump cards and a way out. When the blizzard finally calmed, only golden phoenix flames still burned in the sky. By then, everyone from Shrek and the Tang Sect, along with the rescued Tang Ya, had vanished safely into the undead demi-plane. All that remained was Zhongli Wu's furious roar, a battlefield in ruins, and the silent tent where the space-time doorway had disappeared. The light phoenix fire Yen Shaozhe released was terrifying beyond words. It was not merely pure light. It carried heat so intense it neared an extreme attribute. The blazing golden flames formed a special kind of domain, trapping Zhongli Wu and several elite evil soul masters inside. The flames' cleansing power suppressed them relentlessly. Even super-level evil soul masters could only defend with everything they had, unable to break out easily. Shaozhe controlled the fire with exquisite precision. His goal was not slaughter but delay. The moment any evil soul master attempted to force their way out, he redirected more flames into concentrated strikes, burning through his own soul power at a frightening rate to keep the trap intact. Zhongli Wu, surrounded by fire, became calm instead of panicked. He quickly identified the fatal flaw in Shaozhe's method. Sustaining such a wide-range, high-intensity attack was a monstrous drain. Even a super Donghua could not last long. Shaozhe was clearly paying any price necessary to buy time for his allies to escape. In Zhongli Wu's eyes, the outcome was inevitable. If he simply endured, Shaozhe would soon be exhausted and fall into extreme weakness. Once that happened, trapped and surrounded, he would have no chance of fleeing. Trading the life of the masked Donghua for the death of Shrek Academy's future Sea God Pavilion successor was, to Zhongli Wu, an outrageously profitable bargain. So he waited. And as time passed, the phoenix flames dimmed exactly as he predicted. When the fire's might dropped past a critical threshold, Zhongli Wu finally struck. A bizarre purple shadow rose behind him. His eighth soul ring flared, and a needle-thin beam of violet light shot out, piercing through the remaining wall of flames in an instant. Shaozhe let out a muffled groan. The phoenix flames went out completely. Zhongli Wu burst through first. He saw Shaozhe land unsteadily on the ground, his steps wavering. On Shaozhe's chest, a small cluster of purple fire burned quietly, left behind by Zhongli Wu's eighth soul skill, the Death God Needle, the poisonous energy known as the Flame of Decline. Once that fire entered the body, it provoked the victim's soul power and spiritual origin into an irreversible decline, a self-consuming burn that continued until life ended. 6 Holy Spirit cult enshrined guardians rushed in. Along with Zhongli Wu, 7 experts surrounded Shaozhe completely. Zhongli Wu, confident of victory, coldly demanded to know where they had taken the blue-silver Saintess. Yet Shaozhe's response felt strange. Facing death, the headmaster was not flustered. He actually smiled, calm and composed. Suspicion flickered through Zhongli Wu's mind, but his attention was drawn to the other side of the battlefield. He scanned the scene and his heart sank. The Holy Spirit cult's losses were severe. The 3rd and 4th elders were badly wounded and down. Nangong Wan lay unconscious. And worst of all, the one Zhongli Wu had been counting on most, the key piece he intended to cultivate as the Holy Spirit cult's future pillar, Tang Ya, had vanished without a trace. Her importance went far beyond an ordinary titled Donghua. The Holy Spirit cult possessed a unique secret method that could burn through a soul master's potential and life force, forcibly pushing their cultivation to terrifying heights, possibly even reaching the level of a limit Donghua. But the cost was the complete erosion of the subject's mind, turning them into a tool that knew only slaughter. Tang Ya's martial soul and physique were extraordinarily compatible with that method. Her cultivation could rise at a shocking pace. She had been seen as the chess piece destined to one day replace Yushishui, Zhongli Wu's mother. Her disappearance was not just a setback. It was catastrophic. Zhongli Wu, shocked and enraged, prepared to capture Shaozhe first and then force answers about Tang Ya's whereabouts. And at that instant, something changed. The suppressed flame of decline on Shaozhe's chest, along with his own body, suddenly erupted into blinding golden fire, so hot it made even the surrounding evil soul master guardians recoil in fear. Under everyone's stunned gaze, Shaozhe's body began to disperse within those golden flames, as if he were purifying himself out of existence, flesh and soul erased together. Zhongli Wu froze. He had never imagined Shaozhe would choose something so absolute, to ignite himself, to burn himself away until nothing remained. Killing Shrek Academy's future Sea God Pavilion successor was a massive victory, but it happened so cleanly that it felt unreal. Why didn't Shaozhe try harder to break out? Was his death truly only to cover the retreat of those who had already escaped? Wasn't the price too heavy? There was no time to dwell. Zhongli immediately ordered the entire army to search for Shrek's remaining forces, while also rushing to assess their own losses. That only fueled his fury and heartbreak. In that brief clash, the Holy Spirit cult had lost more than 10 elite members, including a titled Donghua like the masked Donghua, and most importantly, Tang Ya. The Sun Moon Empire's Marshal Lin Hai arrived as well. He mobilized troops and deployed all kinds of detection soul-guided devices, launching a carpet search across the entire camp, swearing to find Shrek's people. For 2 straight days they searched like mad. They found nothing. Those people had vanished as if they had never existed, leaving behind no trace at all. That unknown method of escape left Zhongli and Lin Hai with a deep creeping unease. Of course they could find no evidence. Because Shrek Academy and the Tang Sect were all safely inside the undead demi-plane, completely sealed off from outside detection. Tang Ya had been rescued and hidden there as well, still unconscious. Bei Bei, frantic with worry, turned to Huo Yuhao for help.